This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
Welcome to the late night news on NDTV Hindu. I'm Evelyn Matthew bringing you the news at this hour. First up, over to our executive editor, English News, Sanjay Pinto, for the big story and the big reshuffle of the day within the state's machinery.
What a day it is for bureaucrats in Tamil Nadu. It's a roller coaster ride yet again for the top echelons of the bureaucracy here in the state, especially senior police officers. The new AIDMK government has effected a major shake-up in the Tamil Nadu police. Some of the very senior officers have been shunted out to the boondocks, as it were. Some of the senior officers were holding plum positions in the previous AIDMK regime. But of course, Amma seems to have chosen yet again a brilliant set of officers. That's what many observers have told us. Sebastian George is back at the helm as Additional Director General of Police, Tamil Nadu Law and Order. That's the number 2 slot in the state police. It seems that the AIDMK chief and the chief minister has also retained talent from the previous DMK dispensation. 2 officers outstanding by any stretch. Sanjay Arora will remain in the city. He was Additional Commissioner of Police Headquarters in Chennai and Crime. He is now the new Chennai Traffic Police Chief, a no-nonsense officer. So the next time you don't wear your helmet, I can be sure that you're going to be fined. There's going to be no holds barred enforcement of traffic rules here in Chennai. We'll also have to see whether they will review those one-way systems that were introduced by the previous regime. Also, T. Rajendran, who was the Chennai Police Commissioner during the DMK regime, was momentarily sent to the Prisons Department in a mutual transfer with J.K. Tripathi, who is now the Chennai Police Chief. He's been brought back in a very sensitive post as Additional Director General of Police Intelligence. That's the State Intelligence Chief, somebody who will always have the ears of the Chief Minister. A very sensitive post, and one is not surprised because Mr. Rajendran, in fact, was the DIG of Intelligence during Ms. Jayalalitha's previous regime. So he's a trusted hand there. He is now the State Intelligence Chief. But also, several top officers of the previous dispensation have been sidelined, like Jafar Seth, like Sangaram Jangid, like P. Sivanandi and K. Radhakrishnan. Many believe that officers in Tamil Nadu, it's very difficult. Even at 8 o'clock, you saw Mr. Naresh Gupta saying that it's very difficult to be a bureaucrat in Tamil Nadu. You inevitably get branded one way or the other. And some of these officers who've held plum positions in the previous government have in fact been shunted out to what many would say are punishment postings or insignificant positions to hold.
Thanks very much, Sanjay. But before that, let's bring you a quick look at what's making headlines tonight. The Tamil Nadu State Police is in for a major reshuffle. Former COP T. Rajendran now takes over as the ADGP Intelligence, while Sebastian George is the ADGP Law and Order. Clues emerge about missing Tamanna's whereabouts. Eyewitnesses from Marina Beach say they last saw her with a fortune teller in the city. Can the Kings from Chennai walk over the Tuskers from Kerala? The MH Chidambaram Stadium hopes for a 7-on-7 win from the home team. In a shocking discovery near Villupuram, an unidentified bag carrying a newborn's body is left unattended at a railway station. The DMK raises a stink over Praveen Kumar's guest appearance at Jayalalitha's swearing-in, but sources in the Election Commission say there's nothing wrong. The Sri Lankan government offers an olive branch to the new chief minister, this despite a history of Amma asking for the president to be tried for war crimes. A middle-aged prisoner at the Pural prison hangs himself at the campus, a post-mortem to investigate the actual cause of death. An actor, Srikanth, tunes into a new character in his next flick, a crime thriller journal, but will it survive at the box office? A quick scan of the rest of the day's stories nationally. Rahul Gandhi's open challenge to Mayawati, even as questions are raised on his claims of torture of farmers by her government in Greater Noida. Family sources back police version that Dawood Ibrahim's brother was not present when his bodyguard was killed in a shootout. Sources tell NDTV otherwise. Hours after warming up to him at a public function, B.S. Yediyurappa tells NDTV the governor has to go. And chain Warren is fined $50,000 for his spat with Raj board official but escapes a ban. In the top story tonight, there has been a major reshuffle within the state, this time among the men in khaki. 25 officials overall have been transferred from across the state of Tamil Nadu. Over to our executive editor, English News, Sanjay Pinto, for a perspective into these new postings and the new men in charge. Sanjay, something that was quite expected with Ms. Jayalalitha taking charge?
Absolutely, Evelyn. In fact, she was straight off the block with important postings on day one itself with J.K. Tripathi, who took over as Commissioner of Police on the day she was sworn in, just hours after she was sworn in fact. Sheila Priya taking over then as the Secretary 1 to the Chief Minister. Sheila Rani Chunkat, an old hand in the Home Ministry, somebody who was Home Secretary earlier, back in the saddle as Home Secretary. And of course, Debendranath Sarangi, Chief Secretary of Tamil Nadu. Now, one must give credit where it is due. Ms. Jayalalitha is always known to pick the best brains in the bureaucracy, as we know. In Tamil Nadu, it's the Chief Minister who holds a portfolio that controls the IPS and IAS officers in the state, the backbone of the administration of the state. If you talk of good governance, remember you need to choose the best officers that you can possibly get in the civil services. And let me take you through some of these postings now. In all, 25 postings have come today. And let me tell you, this is only the beginning. An avalanche will follow because there are several other departments, several other vacancies there that need to be perhaps changed or filled. Sebastian George, let's go to him first. Sebastian George is a new ADG, Law and Order. He will get control of Mike 2 in the Tamil Nadu Police. The number 2 slot he really here. Many said earlier that he was in the race also for Commissioner of Police of Chennai, but of course that went to J.K. Tripathi. But this is through an all Tamil Nadu turf that he will have to operate with. Mr. George, if you remember, was part of that sensational midnight arrest of senior DMK leaders, in his case Murusuli Maran, and when the DMK came to power, he was shunted out to the boondocks to vigilance officer of a transport corporation in Nagarkoil. He was left there for almost 5 years, and in the last couple of months he was brought back to Chennai. No consolation at all. It was the Human Rights Department. Now, he seems to have been rewarded. This is almost a trend with both the Dravidian parties. Those who are sidelined in the previous dispensation are brought back. This is not to suggest that officers who have been transferred or officers who have been brought back are loyalists of one party or the other. We must make it very clear. Officers are All India service officers. Many say in the bureaucracy that some of them allow themselves to be branded, but by and large, they do get inevitably sort of the taint of one particular party or the other. Sebastian George is known to be a very professional officer, a gutsy, courageous officer who in fact is highly educated with degrees abroad. Now he's back here at the helm when he said to where he belongs. The next officer, of course, is T. Rajendran, as we said earlier, somebody who is an old intelligence hand, really. He was also zonal director of the Narcotics Control Bureau, and some of the seizures of heroin during his stint really went up. So somebody who walks the talk. He was a good police commissioner as well, but this time around will have the years of the chief minister as intelligence chief. Extremely crucial in the present scheme of things. Then you have, of course, the top brass of the Chennai police. It seems that Mr. J.K. Tripathi has had a big hand in the selection of his team, which is how it should be. The police commissioner choosing his own team, the captain of the state, Chennai police, city police force. Look at his trusted lieutenants, his second in command, as it were. Tamarai Kannan is the new additional commissioner of police, law and order Chennai. He replaces Shakil Akhtar. Sanjay Arora, again, Ms. Jayalalitha, as I said earlier, has not transferred everyone just because they were in the previous dispensation. Sanjay Arora, somebody who's credited with very good traffic management, remains in the city, and he's your new traffic police chief. So, as I said earlier, if you're going to violate a stop line or any other overspeeding, Sanjay Arora is not going to let you off so easily. You'll be fined or booked as well. Abhay Kumar Singh, the new additional commissioner of police crime, that's in the place of Sanjay Arora. Joint commissioner is very interesting, very, very significant selection here. Shanmuga Rajeshwaran, somebody again who was shunted out when the DMK came to power. Shanmuga Rajeshwaran is an old hand in the Chennai police. He was Deputy Commissioner of Police Gindi. He was Deputy Commissioner of Police Mailapo. He knows South Chennai like the back of his hand. A tough officer, so all those criminal gangs will have to really go into hiding now that he's back. K. Shankar, somebody who was on deputation, is the new Joint Commissioner of Police Central Zone. So if you live in Ananagar or Egmo, he's your senior officer there who you can approach for help. And Sentamarai Kannan, the new Joint Commissioner of Police North Zone. North Zone is known to be a hotbed of crime. Several of the criminal gangs operate out of there. So they are sure to have to run for cover now that you have tough officers here at the helm in the police commissionerate. Now, as I said earlier, officers who've been sidelined, Radhakrishnan, former ADGP Law and Order, is now the head of the vigilance wing of the Tamil Nadu Electricity Board. Many, in fact, wonder, earlier there used to be posts of chairperson of the State Tourism Development Corporation. Now, of course, Tamil Nadu Electricity Board Vigilance. Some wonder whether you really need an IPS officer for these posts. Jafar Seth is now going to the Mandapam camp. Refugees, in fact, if you remember earlier, AX Alexander, the intelligence chief, earlier was sent to the Mandapam camp. Then, of course, he made his way back. He clawed his way back and he became DGP under Ms. Jayalalitha. Again, a tough, no-nonsense officer. S.R. Jangit, who was the high-profile suburban police commissioner. Of course, he was transferred out before the elections. There were complaints against him. The Election Commission had to intervene in that case. He is now Chief Vigilance Officer of the Tamil Nadu Transport Corporation and will be based in Nagarkoil. Also, P. Sivanandi, former IG of the West Zone, that's the Coimbatore belt, is now Chief Vigilance Officer of the Tamil Nadu Transport Corporation. There are also almost the entire setup, the team of Deputy Commissioners in Chennai have also been replaced. Notable among them, T.S. Anbu, who is now the new Deputy Commissioner of Police, Flower Bazaar. Very sensitive post. Remember that agitation. Remember that standoff with the lawyer community there. In fact, during the elections also, they had held up posters. Many of the lawyers held posters of that battle inside the court, the lawyers attacked by the police. So this is going to be a very strategic post. T.S. Anbu, who's been in the city police earlier as well, will be the man on the hot seat in Flower Bazaar. One important challenge for him will be to reach out to the lawyers so that the lawyers and the police, function as two hands of the criminal justice system. And one really hopes there's a good rapport that can be built in the coming months. Also, Asra Garg. Remember, does that ring a bell? Asra Garg was the superintendent of police of Madurai, who came under fire for the DMK but stuck to his guns. Asra Garg seems to have been rewarded, brought back. He was also ADC to the governor, remember earlier. Brought back as a new DCP. He's brought off Ananagar. So if you're in Ananagar, he is the officer to contact. It's also known to be a VVIP area with several top politicians living there and bureaucrats as well. So Asra Garg is the man who will man the hot seat from there. So very interesting postings, Evelyn. We'll also have to see the postings in the IAS, of course, also suburban commissioner. There are several other posts like the zonal IGs, which will have to come, and also several other IG postings, which will obviously be replaced in the days ahead. And IAS, who will be the health secretary, who will be the education secretary. There are several important posts, several top officers, very talented here. But by and large, one must say, in defense of the bureaucracy here, if you compare Tamil Nadu with other states, and as someone who's really covered the bureaucracy extensively here on NDTV over the last 14 years, I can tell you have some of the most accessible officers. The most accessible officers in Tamil Nadu, and it is with a sense of excitement that we actually report these postings and transfers, because you find now that there's this new culture of being accessible. Even Ms. Jayalalitha at the top, setting an example, telling the media that she will meet us once a week. So one really hopes that that all the officers are just as accessible and continue to be so. We'll have to wait and see how the IAS postings also come. But this is a major shake-up, a big reshuffle in the police administration. Remember, Ms. Jayalalitha had said that law and order is the biggest priority, and she seems to have already meant business by choosing what many believe are the ideal hands for sensitive posts in the police department here in Tamil Nadu. Evelyn?
Well, a long list of postings to come, and NDTV Hindu will be right on top of it and bringing you all of those updates as it happens. News and updates continue on NDTV Hindu. We'll be back